All right, David, I have so many questions for you. I guess last time we spoke, we were in the middle of the desert in Arizona. You had just come down from this balloon trip from, was it 20,000 feet? How high did you go? Some crazy.
I actually went to 25,000.
25,000 feet.
Which was on my watch, but he yelled, no, don't pull you up after he said, go, go, go. And it was really, so it registered as 24.9 on there.
Okay.
But I was at 25 on my watch.
I was on the ground. I could see everybody like talking to you and like the whole broadcast setup, and that was a fun time.
But you know what threw me for a loop? I'm happy it was safe and it was for my daughter and she was there and I wanted to keep it happy and fun and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So the dangerous part of the stunt was really in the training, not in the actual stunt itself. And the part that I really was concerned about was the recovery afterwards, obviously, that's where the whole team was around to think about that.
Yeah.
But I wanted to go higher than anything on Earth. So Mount Everest was 29,000 feet, a little more than 29,072 feet or something like that.
Yeah.
And I guess because the FAA and everybody suddenly thought that I was going to go hypoxic because I wasn't doing the proper O2 breathing. So suddenly I'm being remote popped down and I can't keep, I'm like, come on, what's going on? I want to keep going. So anyway, but it was a lot of fun. And because they were able to remote pop everything, they did, as soon as I deployed, jump down, they recovered the entire rig and all of
that was a high-tech experiment. Like I got to see the aftermath of like, so you jump out, they've got the remote control and like tracking of this huge rig, essentially an aircraft. It continues to fly. They lower it to the ground. They recover it. Like I got to see all that happen.
Yeah.
I was very impressed with the amount of tech happening, even though at its core, it's you with some balloons, which was amazing.
But if it was just me and the balloons, then it would have actually been something that I wasn't into because I didn't want to just leave balloons to go float away and like destroy the environment, whatever.
Just go pop in the desert somewhere.
Yeah, so that's that. So the big team and all of the work really was on how do we recover the rig? How do we bring everything back down? Which is they remote pop every single balloon and then lower it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you put that on YouTube.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite things about like, I'm pretty sure I found, and I'm sure a lot of people watching this have found your magic on YouTube somewhere. And if I look back far enough, you're easily one of, I don't speak to a lot of people who have been uploading to YouTube longer than me, but you were one of the first people to like blow up on YouTube. People know David Blaine magic from YouTube.
It started with YouTube.
So why did you decide to put stuff on YouTube? Because I know my answer, but like sharing magic with the world.
Well, I felt like the medium was changing. So I felt like the natural progression, and now it really is. Now the only way people look at things is on their phones, which is unfortunate, but therefore there's also the fortunate part, which is they have lots of access to anything that they can think of. So you can learn anything from anyone, anywhere in the world, anytime, which is really speeding up the process of the learning curve, which is amazing. But now there's YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, which I haven't figured out yet. It's so complicated.
We're on the same page with TikTok, I think.
Yeah. But but I'm not against any of it because I actually like all of it. But it's just, my brain hasn't understood how to do that yet because it's like with YouTube, it was kind of like magic was perfect because it was like, here's a trick, here's a reaction, boom. That's really, and that content is quick and it's gratifying.
Yeah.
But then, it started to move to like there's no time for anything. It has to be like the fastest trick and the fastest reaction.
Couple seconds.
Yeah.
Quick hits.
Yep.
I mean, I remember I've seen a lot of your videos and magic, and that was actually part of the entertaining part was that takes you into a sort of a rabbit hole and you just watch as many as you can. You can't get enough. And the reactions from people when you do a trick to them and blow their mind is, I think you described it this way. It's like this universal language. Like everyone has the same like primal mind blown reaction to a good trick. And YouTube lets you share that with way more people than if it was just one at a time, basically.
Yeah, that's right. It allows you to reach anybody anywhere in the world, which is incredible.
So now there's a sort of a new chapter because I've seen all these tricks and all these incredible things you've done. But you've now decided to make a class and actually teach magic.
So I've been reluctant forever to do magic kits or do any of those types of things, which is ironic because my mother's a teacher and my brother's a teacher. So they're both teachers. So I always do understand the amazing and important effect that you have by teaching people stuff that you worked really hard on. But I was still reluctant because magic is such a confusing area because these secrets are so powerful, but you don't want to just give them away because that's part of the art itself. Yep. So every time somebody said to me, though, could you teach me a trick? I always feel bad that I can't. You know, it's like, I want to. Of course I want to. And often I do teach them something quickly. Like I'll be like, here, I could teach you something, but that's not really good enough. So the idea of being able to create any kind of class that I wanted with Studio, which is Max called me up and he understood all about magic. He did all of his research. He could perform magic. He also learned how to play chess so he could play Magnus, and he lasted quite a few moves against him. Wow. And he learned how to memorize a deck. So when he showed me all these things, and he said, well, I'll do whatever you want to make this class something that's incredible and amazing. Yeah. It was very difficult to say no to that because, and I know if anybody wants to take the class, they're not just going to get the secrets. They have to actually enroll. They have to like commit to it. It's a month-long class. So the idea of a student trying to learn some of the things that were what got me started, some of the basic things in magic that I love, I think that was kind of the inspiration, and that's what led me to agree to do this.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think there's an incredibly high number of people that I could think of right now who, if I said, if you could learn magic from David Blaine, would you take that opportunity? And I think they'd all say yes, but it's really hard for you to take that time to teach all of them. It's kind of like the same thing you were just saying, like, I want to take the time to talk to everybody about tech, but I don't have that amount of time. So being able to put out something actually good and like that you have control over and that you can really make amazing and share this with as many people as possible that's like 2022 David Blaine. That's pretty sick. It's dope. I also want to ask you, like, how do you decide what stuff to share in the class versus what stuff you continue to work on and evolve?
So most of the stuff that I share is actually for beginners, for people that are, beginner, intermediate, people that want to be able to like walk into a situation and do some magic and not, I think it's such an amazing art form, and it's such a deep dive into psychology. It's technical, it's math, it's science, it's logic, it's all these things combined, and there's a philosophy behind it. So I feel like the people that, come into it, I feel like they'll have a new appreciation for the actual art of magic itself, actually. I think like you're going to suddenly realize, oh, wow, when this magician's doing a trick, he does, it's a lot of work. It's not just like he's doing this quick trick that has no meaning and it's like, oh, he learned it for 3 seconds and now he can do it. It's like, oh, wow, these guys, all these magicians out there work really hard at their craft, and it's special.
Can confirm. I mean, you're seeing it now, but you've taught me a little bit. I've been working on the tricks. I can't even do this every time perfectly.
Yeah, but you learned it fast.
Wait, let me see if I can do one right now. What is it called again?
Charlier cut. Yeah,
Charlier.
You learned it fast.
Is there a person named Charlier?
There you go. Yep. Perfect.
It's not. Yeah, it's decent.
No, you just did it, but you learned it fast.
But that's the type of appreciation.
The next phase would be like this.
Oh, see, that's just.
And the next would be like this. These are the ones that I don't go into teaching because these are, this is different.
I do like
those things.
The evolution of a trick. Like, here's level 1, here's level 2, here's level 3. That's sick. I am also like, I think we talked a little bit off camera about this, but I feel like I learned a lot of how I communicate ideas through making YouTube videos, like getting creative and like public speaking in a way. I gave a talk to some Googlers at this thing, and I came off stage afterwards and somebody said, that was amazing. How often do you public speak? I was like, that's the first time I've ever done that. But I was really just in like video mode. I'm curious, like, does performing magic sort of have a similar effect for you? Do you find new ways to communicate things? Does that help you in other parts of life, even just developing these tricks and working on stuff?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
So the idea of just learning how to feel confident enough to go out and actually try something, and then it is a performance. It is public speaking. So there's a technical part of it that's really, difficult that you can master with repetition, but then you have to learn the other part of it, which is how do I go out there and communicate this? And that's the part that's the most interesting to me, because everything is really just a trick. But when you apply what your meaning is, or why you're doing it, or who you're doing it to, or how you can relate to that person, then it becomes something much deeper and much more interesting.
Yeah. And you've done like these tricks to almost any person I can name has experienced some sort of incredible magic. Who's your favorite reaction you've gotten? I
mean, there's so many amazing reactions, but you mean on somebody like well-known or whatever?
Maybe you did a trick and you just were like, I can't believe this person loved the trick so much.
I mean, I was once at a dinner with a dear friend of mine and Mickey Rourke and Tupac. And, Tupac, we were at Cafe Tabac and he was smoking at the table. So he's a little buzzed. And I start doing magic to him. And the next thing I know, I look over and he's like on the floor laughing, like kicking his legs like a little kid. And that was and he's also Tupac, so that was a pretty exciting reaction. But there's all kinds of reactions that I get that are amazing. And sometimes it's the opposite. It might just be somebody's completely still. Like a kid that I did magic to in a Barstow, and I made a coin disappear off his hand. It was in my first show.
I've seen that.
Yeah. And he just stood there. And he's like, cool. And that was all. And I obsessed over him. But, and then I wanted to put that trick on ABC, and they were like, no, it's not his reaction. I was like, this is the best thing. And then after that, I think he got a Taco Bell commercial or something.
That's an iconic, and that's all over YouTube. That's what I'm talking about. See?
And then what was funny was those spoof videos that came like not that long ago, like 10 years ago or something. You had those like David Blaine street magic videos.
Did you enjoy those? You got to watch those as they came out? That was some of my favorite videos.
Yeah. Now that guy Mikey Day got a lead in SNL after that.
That's incredible. That's incredible. So magic. These types of things, they're all creative. I view you as a creator, basically, is what I'm saying. Like you put stuff online, you adjust the way you present, you're creative in the way you combine things, and you're able to make something new. And that's like amazing. And you get to share it with people. And that's like inspiring for me. So I appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Who have you not yet performed a trick for that you want to?
That's a good question. I mean, there's a guy named Grigori Perelman who I'm obsessed with.
Okay.
And he won the Fields Prize. He's like a mathematician. He lives in St. Petersburg. Okay. And he's like one of the more famous recluses. The other guy would be J.D. Salinger. But Grigori Perelman is like, he's unbelievable. As a matter of fact, he turned down the prize of $1 million for solving an impossible conundrum that took him, once he solved it, the math community, it took them, I think, 12 years to even realize that he was right. So when they gave him the $1 million prize, he turned it down. And finally, a reporter found him, they say, living in a cockroach-infested apartment on his mother's floor. And they were like, how could you turn down $1 million? What's wrong with you? Like, how could you do it? And he said, please don't bother me. I'm busy picking mushrooms. So that guy would be pretty amazing to go do magic.
I think so. We'll try to make it happen through the power of YouTube. We'll see how long that takes. But David?
But hold on. I want to say one other thing, Marques. So like I said, I always try to teach people magic.
Yeah.
Right? Like I'm always, the way you are with your hands and your ability to learn, it's mind-blowing. It was a very fast learning curve, as you know, and I reacted to that. So I was very impressed, and once again, that was part of my excitement in the beginning was just, I know you're so athletic, you're so smart, you're so talented. So seeing the immediate learning curve was inspiring. And then you pulled the stuff off quickly.
Yeah. Yeah, I had the best teachers, so I definitely had a pretty good head start there.
Yeah, but you the way you learned it and the way you pulled it off right away. We did it to your crew, did it over Zoom, and you improvised and you came up with stuff. So that was for me. That's worth the whole thing right there. Like watching you learn and adjust and come up with things, and it was fun.
Yeah. It's fun. The improvisation part is the hard part, but it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, but you were like throwing people. You're like, oh, make sure I don't have some special thing so I can see through the camera. The odds.
The tech stuff, the odds. Yeah. No, it's all fun. It's all fun. All right. So everyone we have on the podcast,
right?
We give them a keyboard.
Yeah.
And we just say, type the alphabet A through Z.
Wow. And I'm slow as
all you do.
I am slow.
You might be surprised.
No. Oh, no. I'm slow.
Is perfect. Having your name on the leaderboard is going to be great.
Slow, but I'll do it. But
okay.
but I mean like beyond slow.
You're gonna hunt and peck, right?
Hunt I've got one foot. Yeah, of
totally
course.
Fine. Are we recording already?
All right, ready?
Go for it. All right, chiclet style, double digit. Single digit. Come on, man. That's fast.
Is it?
Single 9 seconds.
That's not fast.
That's
I
was getting like 25-second vibes.
I'm not a typer.
That's pretty good for not a typer. You're not last.
I'm not. This is not my thing. No, 9.7 is slower than 9.4.
Oh, 9.7. All right. Well, you're still single digits, which I don't think is the worst thing in the world. Save it.
Hold on.
You can hit another one.
Enter.
You want to hit it again?
Yeah, let's just see.
Go for it.
I'm not gonna. It's a.
See, once you start, it's addicting.
Let me do it again. Hold on.
Bumped it down a little. 9.6.
Hold on.
Sub 9.
All right, I'm keeping
that.
my 8.
We're counting
my
that.
882.
882. 82 is my lucky number.
There you go.
We can say you're lucky with numbers, but I think we know at this point you're going to get a good number anyway.
8-2.
Well done. All right. Appreciate it. Thanks for coming on. We'll catch you guys next time.
Thank you, people of the internet, for watching that clip. It was a great time.
It was a lot of fun. I actually heard if you hit the subscribe button under here, it guarantees that the Pixel Watch comes out in 2022.
Oh, is that
just a little rumor? The rumor got left at a bar, so I'm not totally sure how accurate it is.
Well, my friend his uncle works at Google.
Oh.
He told me that if you hit the like button, the Pixel Watch will have 4 more days of battery for every person that likes this video.
That's unheard of.
Yeah, but my friend's uncle works at Google, so he can
definitely works at Google.
Yeah, for sure.
And if you don't comment on this video, your friend's uncle will probably ban them from YouTube forever. But you can still watch the clips.
Oh yeah,
we've gone too far.
Only Waveform clips.
Only Waveform.
I'll be the only channel that you're subscribed to.
It doesn't sound that bad.
No, that's a great time.
But you should still comment, like, subscribe.
It's the only channel I'm subscribed to.
What about the regular podcast?
Nah.